Hi everyone. Many of you might know that I'm a Lightroom user, but recently I saw that there was an update on Capture One. They've collaborated with Canon to give wireless connectivity to the R5 Mark II and R1 as if it was as fast as a wired connection, which is pretty amazing. And I just had to try it. There was a 7-day trial. I thought I'd just sign up to it, and if I want to do the mobile version, if I want to subscribe for a year, well, that was £84, and I think I'm probably going to do it because check this out. So I've got the camera here and it's just on that. I'm just going to set up an album on here. So it's really simple. Let's just call it Capture 3. Let's just, because it's my third one. I then just have to tap here. So this is an iPad. It works very similarly on an iPhone, and speed-wise, it's the same, but I'll just talk about that in a minute because I just want to show you this here. So there's Capture 3. I've set it as the Capture album. Watch this. So let's just take a picture. Look at that. Look how quickly that's come through. So it seems to do some sort of low res really quickly, and already the high res version is in there, and I could go into that. I'm beginning to learn a bit about Capture One, but I can do things like change the exposure, contrast, and you're thinking, okay, well, you're a Lightroom user. Well, what about that? Well, to be truthful, let me just go back here. I can export this to Lightroom here on the iPad where I'm more familiar with things. So where this is going to be great for me is if I'm doing a job particularly. Also, this is good for headshots, less cables and things like that. And I can do it with the phone as well. One thing to make sure, don't let the phone or the iPad go to sleep because it will disconnect. So on here, there's actually an option to tell it not to go to sleep as well. So that's worth looking at. And I'll show you some of these settings as we go on. But I was really excited by this because I just can't believe how fast this is. Let me just focus that properly again. Very close here, so let me just get back a bit. But can you believe how quickly this is actually coming through? So this is great collab between the two of them. So for me, I do a lot of events and maybe I've got to take some pictures. The clients want the photos really quickly. Previously, you had to just connect it up, take the card out, put it in here or onto a laptop, boom, boom, boom. It slows the things down. So here I've got it. It's also a really good backup. Capture One, also very good for photo editing. And for me, jobs like that, I'm not really editing in the sense of doing anything like removing things. Occasionally I might, but really it's exposure adjustments and fire it off to the client. So I can export it here into files, into my Photos app, into Lightroom, and so on. So this is great. So what I've done is I've set up the camera here so that this is an R5 Mark II, by the way. You probably realized, and it wasn't an R1 because it hasn't got the great big battery underneath here. So this is R5 Mark II. I've set it to be the hotspot here, and I have connected the two together. If I've got Wi-Fi, so if I'm inside the house, I connect it to the Wi-Fi in there. So that just seems a little bit easier. So that's what's happening here. Okay, so how easy was it for me to set this up? Well, actually it was pretty straightforward, and I was really surprised by how straightforward it was. So firstly, I had to set it up on here so that it was connecting to the EOS utility, which I didn't expect. I thought maybe it would be something else. And then I connected this here as well. When I did the EOS utility, that's when I chose what I wanted to connect to. So let me show you that here on the camera. Okay, so let's start off. I'm just going to disconnect. So I've gone into the menu here and you can see it's got the EOS utility, connect to EOS utility. Go down to the bottom here. I'm going to hit disconnect and okay. So I've got some that are preset here, but if I go up to the top, I've got add a device to connect to. I can select that. I've already got some in a list, so I could do that, or I can go to new settings, go to OK, and then Wi-Fi. And then you're going to search for your Wi-Fi, and then you're going to put in your details like your password and so on. And you can see it's got things like connect with WPS. I can use the camera access point mode. That's when the camera is the hotspot, and that's what I did before. And you can scroll down and there will be more down there. I'm not going to do that because then it's going to show you what networks I've got. So I'm just going to go back. I'm actually going to go to select from list. Let's do that. Press OK. And I've got my connections here, as you can see. Of course, I've blurred them out. I'm going to go to the one that I use for the camera. So I'm using the camera hotspot. So let me select that. So now I'm just going to go into my Wi-Fi. I'm going to select it when it comes up, the camera. And it's doing it automatically. There we go. And it's connected. I'm now going back to Capture One. So press OK to start pairing. And there you go. It's found it. Press OK on the camera. And then you've got the Canon EOS R5 Mark II has come up there. Now it would do the same on the iPhone, and I've set it up for both of them. If I tap on the three dots next to that, you'll see that it's got, well, it says disconnect, but actually it has done that automatically, but it would do that. It would come up with connect if it wasn't connected. If it's not there, you would get a screen that says, are you connecting for the first time? And you could then go through connecting the camera. But in truth, once you've done this, it detects it automatically. It appears there, and all you've got to do is tap on it to do that. Now, the other thing I've got is I've got an album here. Let me just create another album. Let me just call this one Cap 4. Okay, now I want that to be the folder that it goes into. And you can see next to Cap 3, there's like a folder with a little camera icon. To do this for Cap 4, tap on those three dots, assign Capture Album, and it has moved to that. On the iPhone, you've got to tap and hold, and it comes up with a pop-up menu, and you just choose it there. So let's go to Cap 4. Now, you can actually control the camera from here as well, which is another bonus as well, because it does it really quickly. I often connect using the Camera Connect, the Canon Connect app, and do it remotely, and sometimes I use a USB-C for that because it's quicker. But this is fast. Look at this. Boom, it's done. And again, so this could be potentially my go-to for doing this kind of thing as well. Okay, so you've got the camera control there. See how it's got the two arrows making it bigger? Let me just tap on that. Now you can see more, and you can see whether it's what it's doing as I do it. So let me go here. So it's just got a picture selected. I could change my shutter speed. I can change my f-stop. So all of my settings I could change here as well. And I can see what it's doing on the right hand side. I can go live, and I can see that down at the bottom there. So let me just change it to something dramatic. You can see it changes, and I can make it bigger as well. So now I have got, and I tapped on cameras controls, I can do this and see it as it happens, full screen. I can see the focus as well, and maybe it leaves a little bit more in the f-stop range, give me a bit more depth. I'm going to press my depth of field button there. Okay, you can see that's much better. Okay, and then I could take a picture with it. It's dark, I can see that, so let me go to 50th of a second. I could change the ISO as well, so let me do that. I'm just taking it with the camera now, easily switching backwards and forwards between the two. So I did mention to you, you don't want this to go to sleep, and you don't want it to go to sleep with your phone or with the iPad. And truthfully, if I'm doing a job, it might be better to use the iPad rather than wearing out the battery on my phone or putting it in my pocket and it accidentally getting knocked into an off position. But this is a really good idea as well. So in the top right hand corner here, I have got settings and feedback. And you can see here the very top one, prevent device from sleeping, and that's switched on. That is exactly what I wanted. Now there's a whole load of other things here, so I'll go into those things in more detail on another occasion as I get more to grips with Capture One. I know other people who use it, really happy with it. I don't think it's going to stop me from using Lightroom just because I've got so much on Lightroom, but I can export it. I can select these images here. So I've got those selected now, and then I can export. So I can export them, so I can do custom names, I can do JPEG, TIFF, originals, and then when I choose export, you'll see it can go to a number of different places. I could save the 4 images, would go to my Photos app. You can see actually I've got a Ugreen NAS as well, a network attached server. I can open it in Lightroom. I can go Lightroom there. It's going to export it to Lightroom, and then I can put those into a folder in Lightroom. So 4 photos successfully imported right at the top there. So there you go. That's what you can do in Lightroom. So I'll probably get more to grips with Capture One and then just export things if they need to be really quickly. But this is a good backup for me. This is a good server, if you like, a cloud-based thing that I use on Lightroom as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Adobe work with Canon as well and get this working really quickly as well. But let me know what you think. I think this is great. This is fantastic innovation, and I just can't believe how quick it is. And I just wanted to share it with you so that you could go and try it yourself. So there's, if you're going for the mobile version, which works on the iPhone and the iPad, and as I said, I use the iPad version here just because it was bigger and easier for me to show it to you, whereas on the iPhone it also works really well. So I did sign up for the 7-day trial. It's great that someone's doing a trial, and I think I'm going to go with the mobile version. There is another version which so it's over £200, but it combines all of it. It combines all of the mobile and also your desktop as well. So maybe the more I get to grips with it, maybe I'll start using that on the desktop as well. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. If you do like this, please do like, share and subscribe, and come back for more.